on another sensational night.
Thank you very much.
Listen, there's a lot to dig in on with what we saw with the 4 matches, but I will say this. Head core, visually, the setting, the angles, the lighting, and then these fans, this is on the short list already as one of the great PLE venues.
Stunning location, stunning Petco Park. What an amazing look, right? Like just crazy off the charts. And I want to thank everybody here at Petco Park. I want to thank the San Diego Padres too for inviting us into their house. We should say thank you to San Diego in general for inviting us into your house, but especially Petco Park. What a facility. Chris Conley, Jacqueline Lash here at Petco couldn't have been better. Our partners at ESPN and Netflix couldn't have been any better. You saw it all week long. You guys have talked about it. First Take, Get Up, Sports Center, WWE Superstars were everywhere. The coverage of this has been incredible. And, you know, tonight, you guys absolutely shattered the attendance record for a Survivor Series of all time. 46,000 people. Yeah,
that's the most show off.
Yeah.
Yeah. On the 10,000
Yeah, I can look at it right now. Yeah, it's crazy, and they still got energy to sing and everything else under the sun. So, just an incredible night across the board. You know, and one of the things too is that I love about this is we had people from all 50 states. We had people from 36 countries here tonight. It was epic.
Hey, we were out here obviously for the countdown show earlier today. They opened up the gates about 7 minutes before we started. The very first person who was against the rail here turned to me holding a sign. I came all the way from Singapore to see John Cena, all the way from Singapore to see John Cena. Listen, we can go in a lot of directions, get your opinion on some things here. The big reveal tonight, we got the mystery man in the black hoodie, the return of Liv Morgan, and the conclusion and the outcome of the Intercontinental Championship match, Paul.
Yeah, well, let's first talk about the Intercontinental Championship match, and let's talk about John Cena. I said it when he walked back into gorilla position when the night was over. It was an honor to watch that. It really was. John is just knocking it out of the park, and now we're down to one. There's just one left, and who's going to win that lottery to face John Cena in his final match? But I think as insufferable as Dominic Mysterio has always been, it's going to be even more so now because he just put down John Cena to win the Intercontinental Championship back. And he's got Liv Morgan sitting on his arm. 2 titles, Liv Morgan.
You said, when I interviewed you before the show, you said the amazing thing about Dom's situation is it was low pressure. He didn't have to beat John Cena, but now he does. What is the ceiling for Dominic Mysterio?
But boy, the ceiling for Dominic Mysterio, there just isn't one. At his age, to accomplish the things that he's accomplished, you know how difficult that is. To do the things he's doing, to make the decisions that he has, to step into the ring with John Cena, to beat John Cena, to have Liv Morgan on his arm, to have the people that he has around him advising him. You know, a guy that you go back not that long ago, just a few years ago, and people would have said there is no real future there. He has blown that all out of the water, and it's an incredible thing to watch.
I feel like we talk about it time and time again, especially the last several months with Stephanie McCare. She has had such an incredible run. Can you speak to trusting her in a spot like this where we only have 2 singles matches on this card and she's in a world title match with Nikki Bella? Just once again, if you could talk about the rise of Stephanie in this role.
Again, another young superstar that when you just look at the rise of what she's accomplished in such a short period of time, already the women's world champion, already putting up defenses and coming on PLEs and just tearing it up. And to your point, when you build out a card like this, you know when it's only 4 matches, it's bookended by War Games, what you put in the middle has to be epic. Those people have to be able to carry their weight, and we knew that with Stephanie McCare, Nikki Bella, we would have no problem with that. To be able to say that about her at this point in her career is epic. I would also be amiss at this point in time if I did not mention Big E's suit. That is sharp, my
Thank
friend.
you. Thank you. I
The power red, of course, power red tie.
My hat's off. My hat says the shoot game is strong on Big E.
Oh, good.
Yeah, you're all right. You're all right.
Yeah, thanks.
Paul, earlier tonight we were going through some of the history of Survivor Series, and we were noting some of the great moments through the years. And it came up, Io Sky and everything she's done off the top of the cage in 3 straight years. We said, what do you do for an encore? I guess the answer is you do a garbage can swanton, because women's war games had some great moments as well.
You know that you get to a certain point in your time in your career where you're known for certain things,
Yes.
like Kofi in the Royal Rumble, moments like that. When they create your own garbage can, you know that the garbage can off the top of the cage is your thing and you've accomplished something. Io just once again showing why that there's very few peers for her in the women's division, and maybe the only one might be Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley just when that music hits, when This Is My Brutality hits, that place comes unglued and she just screams superstar in every which way she turns. But I will also mention I was very impressed with Lash Legend.
I agree.
To stand in that ring, in those cages, with that level of stardom, people can't understand the pressure that is on you in that moment. Lash Legend rose to the occasion and showed why she belongs here in WWE.
She's better right now than she was 3 hours ago. She grew that much just by having this experience.
Absolutely, and will come away from tonight with more confidence
Right.
than she's ever had, and will be more dangerous because of it.
Well, you can't have more confidence and more danger than the group that was up on this stage with us just about 10 minutes ago, and that is the Vision, Bron Breakker, and Bronson Reed, Logan Paul, and then Paul Heyman, who we had the honor and the challenge of sitting next to on this desk. So let's get into men's war games a bit.
Unbelievable. One of the most star-studded war games I think I can ever recall. The level of star power that was in there was second to none. And everybody delivered. When you have Brock Lesnar, who does not team well with others, when you have Roman Reigns, and you have Cody Rhodes, and Jey Uso, and CM Punk, and Logan Paul, just all these people that are in there putting things out at another level, and you see that competitive nature. The lobbying, the politics, the backstage tension tonight, you could cut it with a knife. It was epic, and you saw that in people's performances. When a guy like Bron Breakker gets dropped on his head like that and just walks through it,
Insane.
that is insane. It shows you the kind of athlete and the kind of competitive nature that entire upper deck of the men's division is putting out there right now. It's incredible.
When you see Roman Reigns, is it me, or when Roman Reigns walks through that curtain, is it one of the most sort of iconic, this is him entrances we've ever had? And somehow over the last 6 months, even though he's been away from the title picture, I feel like when you see him now, it's more iconic than ever.
Yeah, he's almost transcended to a point in the business where he's bigger than the championship. He's bigger than being a world champion. He is just a legend unto himself. I used to think that about Taker all the time. He just transcended the business in a way that you didn't even need to talk about him in the title picture because he was epically in that circle. That is where Roman Reigns is right now. He just, there's an aura about him that it's
crazy.
Just something different.
Absolutely. And speaking of Roman in the world title, we talk about the road to WrestleMania kind of starting in January with the Royal Rumble, but I felt like in many ways it started here tonight. And we see Roman eyeing both world titles. How is that going to unfold? Is it Roman getting his choice? If you can give us a little bit of a tease with which direction, which fork in the road Roman takes, how's it going to unfold?
The thing is, when you have a star the size of Roman Reigns, you almost, like when you talk about him, he transcends the world title. He transcends the Royal Rumble. He transcends the Elimination Chamber. Does he really need to qualify, or does he just call his shot, right? That's a decision that we here in the WWE need to make very shortly. But I have a feeling that one of those two guys, CM Punk or Cody Rhodes is on a collision course with Roman Reigns. It's going to be interesting to see where that goes.
Speaking of decisions that have to be made shortly, in 48 hours we have to do this again. And I can only imagine what it's going to be like on Monday Night Raw with so many questions and so many twists and turns coming out of this.
So many questions, so many unanswered things. Who was the masked man at the end? You know, all of the things that you want to come away from not being answered are there sitting in front of you. Monday night is going to be epic.
By the way, we love this GLE. Like, this was great tonight. This
was one of those nights. The funny thing, as the day went on, the anticipation became bigger and bigger. I could feel it. It felt like an epic event and a big fight feel. And then we took those opening shots. I did not get to watch the pre-build-up, but once we took those opening shots of that skyline and this baseball stadium and Petco Park and everybody in it, man, I just, you know, talk about the goosebumps. They were there. What a night. And, you know, I look forward to more of these.
And how about we link up in 2 weeks for John Cena's last event?
That's the thing now, as we close out the year, to me, it all becomes about John Cena and that night. And also the night that John asked for it to be, which is a night of opportunity for so many young talent, which you will see from NXT, and you'll learn more about that in the coming weeks. But as you see these opportunities coming up for these young kids, that's going to be a special night, Saturday night's main event. Washington, D.C. on December 13th. You know, and then, as you mentioned, Big E, right around the corner, it's the road to WrestleMania, and here we go, and it's just going to get bigger and bigger.
And it feels like the foundation was cemented a little bit today, that we can see the path coming into play, so we will see where things go.
You can at least see the players
You can.
sort of rising to the top.
No doubt.
So this ride's going to be epic.
Congratulations, what a night. Paul Triple H Levesque putting on a show here in San Diego. Look at this crowd behind us here at the Survivor Series post show as thousands have stayed on to hear from all our live guests. And Survivor Series post show is presented